All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to another M-rated episode here with Mark and Manny. And I forgot my headphones.
Fuck.
I
Cheap
forgot. That was a cheap move,
cut.
bro. That was a cut. No, it wasn't a cut. Before we start, I personally want to say to everybody out there that's watching, if you want to help out those people that are struggling out in Texas or that part of the states, you could visit redamericancross.org so you could donate or just I think they're needing like donation from blood and just food and water, because if people are not updated with what's going on right now in the deep freeze of
In Texas.
Yeah.
And all, maybe the whole, like, middle of the U.S. is
yeah, literally it's like over
bad.
I think like 19, no, I would say like what, 15 or 19 states, 20
Yeah,
states.
yeah, yeah.
It's pretty bad. So I was actually looking online and see how I could help these people out, and I found the American Red Cross. I'm sure everybody's heard of that.
Yeah.
And you're able to just send stuff, donate, whatever you can, and even fund it,
Yeah.
because people are struggling out there.
Yeah, and that's kind of, we got to get into it a little bit, because what's happening in Texas right now, it's a historical event. Like, it's a once in a generation. Like, that never really happens for 90%, maybe even more of Texas to be covered in snow. Unfortunately, their power grid, all their infrastructure was not set up to withstand this type of cold and this type of demand, because whether it's super cold or super hot, people automatically, they turn on the heater, they turn on the AC, and some of the power grid has not been set up for this big of a demand.
Well, from what I know, they have different like organizations. Like I think there's one called like Ecord or something like that. There's organizations that are able to detect this type of events before they come. So I know a lot of people knew that this event was gonna come before it happened. So
Okay.
the preparation that the states didn't take, and that like you gotta be prepared for this type of stuff as soon as you're warned by this private organizations that are trying to help you out.
Yeah.
But they weren't. They
Yeah,
didn't
and,
take it
and
in
it's
hand.
a two-sided sword, because on one side of it, it is a natural disaster. Like, you can't really prepare. I mean, you can, but you don't really know to what level things are going to go until it
Yeah.
actually happens. So there's that side of it, that you have to have some type of preparedness. But throughout the U.S., the power grid, the infrastructure that has been set up was created back in the 1950s. These were set up to be maintained and, like, go in and fix whatever's wrong every 30 to 40 years. And we're well past that. I know last year a lot of us remember the fires that were going on.
Yeah, the fires and even the Hurricane Harvey, I think it was that hit Texas
Yeah, yeah.
a couple of years ago. And I think this event that just happened, um, it was bigger than those hurricanes. It was bigger
Oh,
than
yeah,
those,
yeah.
it just, I mean, on top of that, dude, you have COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, COVID is already one of the worst things that has happened to humanity, period. And now to top it off with which is what's happening right now in the States is, I mean, people.
It's really bad. But what was interesting about those fires last year is that they were sparked by power grids that the same thing happened. They were just not set up to take the
Well,
demand.
this power grids, I know. I mean, we're moving into like energy now.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, we've seen it all in vehicles. We see it now in this power grids. There's a certain percentage now that we're working with energy in this power grids. It's not fully 100%.
Yeah.
But it's a certain percentage, and a lot of people can blame this to possible global warming, climate change. A lot of people say that this type of the grid that you're talking about, it wasn't prepared for the climate change.
Yeah.
So I mean, nobody has the exact answer, but it is a natural disaster. You think we could have probably, I mean, the states could have probably handled it a
They
bit
could
better?
have handled it a lot better, definitely. Just because, I mean, like we keep saying, you never know to the length of, like, how bad is a natural disaster going to be. You never really know. But if you take certain steps to be prepared for worst case scenario, it could have helped. Right now, I know Elon Musk, he's having the time of his life, because he just built that gigafactory in Texas. So now he's able to provide a certain percentage of people with electricity, where most of the population, they couldn't They had the old power lines, they had the old power grid, they had the old infrastructure, and those were the ones that get hurt the most. Pipes are being burst, so it's not even just
causing
about
fires too.
yeah, you know,
causing fires.
and it's freezing cold. Pipes are bursting, so like water's everywhere, and it's just freezing. And
Talking about water, people haven't drank water. Some people are begging for water.
Clean water.
Mean, I know a lot of people are going out in those part of the states. They're going out to their local grocery that are open, because not all of them are open. To their local McDonald's, even just to even get a cup of water, some hot food. I was seeing some videos, dude, where people haven't had food, like warm food, for the past 3 to 4 days.
And it doesn't sound like that long, 3 or 4 days. But in the freezing cold, you can't do anything. You can't stay warm
Unless you're fasting. If you're fasting, and you haven't eaten for the past 2 days, oh man, I'm losing weight. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wasn't an intentional joke. It was just
comedy, guys.
Comedy. Yeah, get some in it.
But some of the stories that I was seeing, they were like, you know, they would go to the 7-Eleven or like their local market, and some of these markets, they leave the waters outside. They leave pallets of waters outside. So people were going, taking them, but they were slipping money under the door. They were slipping money under the door. So that just kind of shows, you know, even with what's going on, there's some type of community still
this is even worse than COVID. You know, there's people that haven't, you know, taken anything in their stomachs for the past days. You know, there's reports of people even dying. There's a couple of deaths in there
already.
There's people that, of course, they're starving, so they're trying to get any type of food in their system. And there's, you know what, Texas is supposed to be like the mother of all energy fields or something like that. I think I read an article about it, you know. But dude, just how the winter impacted the states is just, oh my God, it hit Louisiana, some part of North and South Carolina. They got tornadoes going out there right now. Just the weather, it literally just it did its own thing.
Yeah, and I mean, we're barely midway through February.
Dude, I mean, yeah. And
there's still no end for COVID that we could think of, or any type of timeline.
Any restrictions.
And like the weather just keeps pummeling the whole mid of the U.S. is just, it's really bad right now. It's really bad right now.
But, you know, one of the good things I did see is, like I was talking earlier about the American Red Cross. They did, you know, help out as much as they can. Which
that's my question, because I mean, you asked it. Is there anything they can do? So what can these donations do? What kind of help are they gonna bring?
Well, I think their primary thing that I seen on their website was donating blood.
Okay.
You know, which of course everybody knows that, you know, that's what they do.
In any type of
way. But I'm sure now you could go and fund, and you know, they created this fund system for you to just donate money for, you know, certain communities that are, you know, not that wealthy, that are in need of more than just a blanket. You know, they need food and they need all that, you know, because COVID is everywhere. So now imagine they get this on top of COVID. I mean, some people are just, you know, they can't take it. I mean, you might even see suicide rates go up even more.
Well, that's what's interesting. When I was looking into the whole infrastructure for the power grid, they said that if 9 power plants went out, stationed like throughout the U.S., just 9 of them, that 90% of the U.S. would go into fucking blackout from west to east. The whole fucking U.S. would black out. And within weeks, that would cause 90% of the population to die out, because people in hospitals wouldn't get the care they deserve. People that got hurt, people would start going crazy once they know that, like, yo, we need food. How do we keep it cool? How do we store this shit? People are gonna resort to violence. They're gonna start stealing. They're gonna start looking survival of the fittest. So it's crazy to know how weak we are, almost, in a way. If just 9 of them go out, we still don't know the actual numbers of what's going on in Texas. But I think within a couple weeks, maybe in a month, when things clear up a little bit, we're gonna start seeing, you know, people that were just left in homes with no help. They froze to death. They died of hunger. They died of thirst, because there's no clean water. The pipes are frozen. There's no water. The fires are burning uncontrollably. Apartments are being set on fire.
Firefighters are having a really, really, really tough time.
Where are they going to get the water from? Everything's frozen.
Yeah, everything's frozen.
So
and I think also, you know, I was really, really, really looking into this, of how people are being impacted by this event. Insurance. for their homes.
Oh,
It's a big
okay.
thing. I think it might be
Good or bad?
Oh man, it's bad. I mean, where are they gonna get the money from?
Well, I mean, it could be good if there's some type of damage to your
yeah,
house.
but I mean, the impact that this event did to a lot of homes. I mean,
And then when they can't pay their whatever monthly,
mortgage or I mean, if you even have just a house out there for a rental, I mean, do you have enough insurance to cover that? Are you
damn, that's
losing
true.
property? I mean, the value of this houses, how much are
That's
they gonna
true.
drop? I mean, it's just so much chaos, dude. I mean, there's just so much going around in the world, and it's
Yeah.
just like,
Because I don't know
can't even
what
catch a
Texas
break.
policy was for COVID, but at least here restaurants were barely able to open outdoors.
Yeah.
So I know someone were barely hanging on.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if some type of natural disaster came through and forced them to close down again, and now they got to go another month without any type of income, any type of revenue. Yeah, I don't know what the policies are over there, but damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, on top of that, you have all the expenses you gotta cover too. You know, if you're paying mortgage, that's another thing you gotta gotta cover. You know, your insurance. I mean, what happened to your vehicle?
Damn.
First of all, your transportation.
Yeah,
It's very
I
important.
listen to podcasts that some of them are out there in Texas. Like, you know, Joe Rogan's out there, and he took a lot of podcasters out there with him.
Yeah.
So now they're telling, you know, there's the story of what's going on over there, and most of them are saying, yeah, you drive down the street and there's cars just stuck on the side of the road, just pretty much abandoned because.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? And you're right. What if they can't pay that month insurance anymore? Are they gonna cut them off? Like,
It's a lot of questions and no answers. Same thing with COVID. You know, there's still more and more questions.
Yeah.
We kind of got used to it in a way, right? We kind of got used to wearing masks in a way, you know, and to just have this type of events go in and affect people, families, kids, you know, schools that were just, you know, opening up, businesses that were possibly just gonna, you know, start picking up, and then, you know, it's just it's sad, dude.
And it makes it hard to recover because you don't know when it's gonna be warm again.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. How are you gonna warm up the pipes?
Yeah.
You know, what about all the food that went bad because you can't store it correctly?
Yeah. I mean, what about if you have a a pallet of water sitting, you know, on your garage and it just freezes?
And it freezes.
There's people
completely.
living in the garages, in their basements right now. Those people that have basements, I mean, maybe they have some type of storage, you know, like their backup foods, you know, canned food. But how long is that gonna last them? You know, maybe if they have a large family, it might go real quick. There seems to be a lot of help from different states now that I started seeing. The governor kicked in. There's a law, or there's some type of thing that Biden just passed to help them out. So there's help coming, you know. But can you really recover from a natural disaster that
And my
quick?
question is, what? How? Like, you're gonna hand them out blankets? Shit? Like, how do you recover this? Unless all that money is just gonna go into like fixing all of the infrastructure, but that's not millions. That's probably billions of dollars that have to be invested into that type of work.
And I know that the world is moving so fast. We're moving into technology, and everybody's seeing it. The world is changing, and can this be some type of warning? I mean, I don't know if you're faithful, if you have faith or not. But is this God telling us something else again?
Well, no matter what you look at it. You could be religious or not religious, but if you read the scriptures, you read what's like the prophecy, whether you believe it or not, there's a sense of like this is too close to home. Like,
is it coincidence?
Is it a coincidence? Could it all be a coincidence?
Or can it be predictable?
Because
I mean, did somebody predicted back in the years?
Have you heard what the Jews are gonna do on what day is it today? On the 22nd, tomorrow?
No.
The Jews are asking all the Jewish people around the world to come together and pray to welcome in the new Messiah.
The new Messiah?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
That's what's happening tomorrow, guys.
Who could be the new Messiah?
I don't know.
Elon Musk?
But in the scriptures, it says that that new Messiah is going to be the Antichrist.
Oh, man.
He's going to be the Antichrist.
He's going to fill that role of...
peace, you know, I could help you guys, just calm everything down, but when in reality, he's not.
Yeah, we don't want to get too much into religion, but if that event takes place and if it seems to be helpful to the communities out there all over the world. If it seems like it's gonna help out a lot of disasterable events that are happening, then why not?
I mean, yeah, yeah,
For a moment, for a piece,
yeah. But the point I was trying to make is if you just read it without being religious, without actually believing what it says, there's too many coincidences that happen, like from plagues to virus, pandemics, no food, the water, nature. It's too much of a
It makes
coincidence.
too much sense.
So much.
It's just like, goddamn it. Then I mean, they say it's the book. They say it's the book of life.
Mm.
So I mean, it could make a lot of sense if you
Yeah.
start, putting pieces together. And I think we're starting to see a lot of different events start to develop that we probably thought were never gonna come. Like, who would have thought at some point in your life you were gonna be restricted to even go to your local restaurant or your local market without wearing something to protect yourself from who knows what fucking virus, you know?
Well, at the same time, you come home and you tell an artificial intelligence to turn on your light.
Yeah, so everything is just, it's moving so fast that we're all trying to adapt to this new lifestyle, because in the next year you're gonna have to adapt to something new.
Yeah.
Things are moving so
Super
fast
fast.
that, I mean, can we catch up? Is the question that a lot of us have. That we need to ask ourselves. I mean, I'm just adapting to something new. Can I catch up to the new thing? I know generations move on and on and on and on, but I feel like generations right now are just like, the next generation is just moving so fast that the kids are just trying to adapt to something.
Yeah.
They get just kind of somebody just cuts them and they just say, oh, you gotta adapt to this. And especially with schools. I know schools were gonna open up in March, I believe.
Were they?
Yeah, alongside with theme parks.
Okay.
I don't know if you're aware that theme
know.
parks.
Honestly, I almost gave up completely on
Yeah, on
COVID,
COVID?
because
Yeah.
like last week they were like saying now you gotta wear double mask,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're like, whoa, you need 3 vaccine shots.
3 vaccine shots.
So it's been almost a year, pretty much, to like almost like 11 months. Because the official lockdown went into place like March 22nd.
Yeah.
So we're like 11 months into this, and they still don't know what like the proper way. They still don't know like almost anything. Because you could go get the vaccine, it'll give you peace of mind, but like you still gotta wear a mask everywhere you go.
Still, yeah.
And you still might get it.
Yeah, you still might get it. It's not 100% guaranteed. And talking about that vaccine, and there's parts of the states that just, like Texas, there are facilities that were giving out shots for COVID-19.
And all those are lost now.
Yeah, they just completely shut down. There was people I know that in hospitals, like nurses and doctors, that when this power outage just went off, they completely just some of them were slipping. That's what I heard. That's what I was reading on the article. Yeah. Some people were some of these nurses and doctors, they were slipping. Some people got hurt during work.
Yeah.
So it becomes a disaster, dude.
Yeah, and the vaccines that have to be transported and stored in very specific circumstances. The temperature has to be very specific. So if they don't have power, they don't have electricity, they keep those cool, store them the way they're supposed to be stored. I think they have to throw them away. Like, they're useless now.
Yeah, there is. I mean, because they're stored in, let's say, in a room where it needs power.
Yeah.
I mean, it's out of power. So do they go bad, or do they stay in that temperature that they need to? Obviously, they don't, right?
I heard here in Los Angeles or somewhere in California, there was people that would go out and scavenge for that. You know how like homeless people, they go to the trash and they look for foods or something to eat. So there was people that were scavenging for vaccines that way, because if they don't use them for a certain day, they have to throw them out because they're no longer good. So there was people that would go through the trash and get those vaccines and just like give themselves the vaccine. So if there's that many vaccines in Texas right now, they gotta be careful, because a black market could come out of it.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's people we know there's people out there that just try to sell you whatever the fuck they could get their hands on for a price, and just you take whatever you're gonna buy. You know? It's just, I mean, a black market for sure.
Yeah. But let's fucking, because I mean that's what happened this last week That was the big event.
Yeah,
Texas
it's
freeze.
still even going to this day. There's
It's
you still
going.
news. I mean, there's a little bit of a recovery. There's a lot of people that are actually helping. Like we said earlier, if you want to help, there's of course the American Red Cross or .org, where you're able to just get all that information, and you're able to just whatever you could donate. I mean, just go right ahead.
If you can.
But yeah, there's different people, people out there that
What do
are.
you think about Ted Cruz? What he did?
Ted Cruz. I don't know what happened to Ted Cruz.
No?
No.
He's a senator of Texas,
Yeah.
right? So, sometime last week, so it was Sunday, probably like on Wednesday or Thursday, he took his whole family and he left to Cancun.
Oh, fuck. In the middle of the.
In the middle of what was going on. Well, how do you feel about that? What do you think?
Well, he has privileges.
Okay. So,
Okay.
so what do you think?
He's wealthy.
He's also the senator of Texas.
He has the resources, but he's also the face of a state. Right?
Okay.
I feel like you shouldn't leave no man behind. You should stick. I mean, you should go through this with your people. I mean, not only are you already going through a big world event, and then to top this off and just walk away. I mean, yeah, I'm sure he's looking out for his family.
Okay.
But yeah, you as a big face of the state, you should just stay in.
I actually got into a kind of heated conversation with my girlfriend about this. It got a little heated because she was saying the same thing. Like, well, how could you leave? You got to stay there. For the people, he's a representative. But I'm on the complete opposite side. Like, if you have the means to get your family out of the harm's way, then I think you would take it.
Yeah,
any person would take it.
I think, yeah, I honestly think the first thing that comes to mind is your family, and get them to safety. All your loved ones, get them to safety. I guess your career comes next.
Yeah.
And his career is the phase of Texas.
And unfortunately, it's a public career. Like, he's in the public's eye. So any move, anything he does is going to be looked at and criticized.
Yeah. No matter what, he's going to be criticized, whether he does good or bad. There's always going to be, that media that's going to get in the way. And it's going to criticize him for doing good or for doing bad. At this point, I think he did the right thing.
Yeah, I personally have no problem with what he did. Yo, like, my family's cold. The one thing I do have a problem with, and it pissed me off, and that probably just shows that I care about animals more than humans. Dude left to Cancun, right, with his family, but he left his dog at home.
Oh, man.
That's a bitch move.
That's a bitch move.
You
don't leave your pets
behind. If you're going on vacation, you're all going on vacation, right? You fucking take your dog with you. Figure that shit out.
You figure that shit out.
That's what pissed me. That's what pissed me off.
I didn't even read an article about what Ted Cruz did.
It was a pretty big deal. Well, at least on social media, it was a big deal.
Oh, okay.
But people on social media.
Yeah, some people kind of
You fought
exaggerate.
wrong
I
in
probably
it, so.
did browse through it, but I didn't really pay attention to it. But oh my God, leaving your dog behind or even your cats behind.
That was what I was mad about. How could you fucking? You're leaving because it's cold as fuck, and you're just gonna leave your dog.
Okay.
That's cold. That was the fucked up part.
But yeah, man, leave him off. I'm gonna take a piss break. But yeah, dude, the disasters that are happening just about in all the states. I mean, we gotta support. We gotta find a way to just get them help. And we gotta figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know what would be helpful. Like,
it's a good question that I've been asking myself this past few days. Are we gonna start or keep moving into energy? Would that be a question to ask? I mean,
think about there was already pockets of Texas that were already powered by clean energy, right?
Yeah,
renewable energy.
But a short percentage of it.
But regardless of what the percentage of is, the windmills, they froze. The fucking solar panels, they froze. So it didn't matter.
It really didn't matter.
So that's what my question keeps going back to. Like, so what?
I think we are. I think energy is a future. We're starting to see that it's something that it helps be a progressive type of thing for our communities. We're gonna leave again the industrial age behind, and we're gonna keep moving into technology.
Yeah.
It's just another phase for us to say, you know what, our power grids gotta be substituted with something new,
or a
and
backup, some
your
type of backup.
backup. And I think energy is the future, literally.
Yeah.
Dude. We're starting to see it in everything, literally.
Yeah, well, I mean, that law that they passed for California that after 2025 or something,
With the
you
vehicles.
can't sell any more gas powered vehicles.
hmm
That's
That's beautiful.
that's a move. That's a
That's
move
beautiful.
right there.
That's so anybody purchasing gas vehicles, you might want to rethink about
Or at least
purchasing
hold
one.
off until the next generation of,
Mm-hmm.
because I've been looking into getting
Mm-hmm.
into some type of electric car. Oh, the battery died. What the fuck?
Battery died already.
I think I was talking about when I wanted to get an electric car.
Yeah. Your bitch has with an electric car. Yeah. Imagine the light bill on that. Can
Nah,
you imagine the light bill on an electric car?
but that's the thing. I've been looking into electric cars, right?
Okay.
And there's a lot of new ones coming out. Obviously,
Yeah.
Tesla is like what everybody knows.
We got
Maybe
even
the
Ford.
Prius.
I mean,
Maybe
Ford
the-
jumping into it. GMC.
But that's what all these other cars are jumping into the market now. Ford just came out with their Mustang Mach-E.
Mm-hmm.
That one looks nice. It looks really, really nice. But one of the things about it is that they don't have the network that Tesla has. So when you're gonna take a long trip with a Tesla car, you map it out in the car, and it sends you through routes where you're gonna be able to keep recharging throughout the way because that's their own network.
Yeah.
But all these other car companies don't have a network or anything like that. And some of the charging stations are compatible with all of the cars out there. So you have to go to specific like charging stations that work with your car. And some of them don't have the network to send you cross country or for like long road trips or whatever.
And I guess the big factor here is that how long is a battery? Because we all know that there's like NIO from China that are able to just swap your battery in and out at charging stations under a minute.
Yeah.
Can Ford do this? Can GMC do this? Can Toyota do this?
The best way I would be able to describe it is, when Android phones barely came out, the battery was whack, son. Like, the battery was whack. There's no way around it. The battery was like, you get 6-7 hours at most. Now you're getting a couple days. It takes a little time for the technology to catch up to what's going on. But since there's such a high demand and such a big market now, it's gonna be fast. They're gonna come up with a new way to store, capacity or whatever.
And by the way, like, let's say we were just saying that how technology is developing so fast. I think it's just in a matter of 2 to 3 years, you'll be able to get a good chargeable, vehicle that just get you from point A, from point B, from point C real fast.
Yeah, because they already started out rolling out with the version 1, the version ones. The version ones are always kind of like the worst because there's bugs, something's wrong
those
with
are the
it.
samples.
Yeah, you're out there pretty much being a beta tester.
Literally.
So once the 2 or the 3rd generation start coming around, those are going to be a lot better. And we have a few years before that law actually comes into play. So I think by that time, we're definitely going to be in a different place than we are now.
Yeah.
Because right now, that is the limitation, the range. I think the Mustang only goes up to like maybe 300 miles, and that sounds like a lot, but like it's not really.
Especially if you're a daily driver, you might want to.
Exactly.
Think about it.
And it completely depends, just like gas, how you drive. If you step in it a lot, that's gonna fucking reduce it. If you cruise, then it might go up or whatever. But
the most affordable one, Tesla's not even that expensive. It's kind of
not
affordable.
over here affordable either, because you're talking about 30,000-40,000 still.
Yeah, but some people pay for a damn Raptor over $80,000. A Jeep Wrangler that is hitting like 60 to 70, even $80,000. So would you rather buy that or invest it in a vehicle that it's going to be holding on for the near future?
And I've been struggling with that too, because I mean, it just hits different when you got a V8 with like 600-700 horsepower. You step on the gas and you hear the woo, you feel the vibration of the car and everything. I've never been in a Tesla, so I know you're pushing some power, but it's got to be different because it's all quiet.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, it drives itself.
Yeah.
So if you're able to get in a vehicle to your transportation and hit a button where it says, take me here without you doing any work,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be very beneficial?
Oh,
I
for
know
sure.
a lot of people are very contradictable about this because I know I've seen a lot of reports. Oh, there's people that are sleeping while they're driving on the freeway with the Teslas. But I think you're able to get a lot more done while you're in your vehicle other than just wasting time on traffic.
You know what Tesla wants to add? That you could talk to another Tesla driver while in traffic. Like you could talk to each other.
Like the truck drivers on their walkie-talkies.
Yeah, yo, that shit would take road rage
that
to
would be
a
cool.
whole
Oh my god, imagine it'd be like, yo, man, fuck this motherfucker.
Yeah, yo, fuck you, dog. You didn't see me.
You seen that Camry right up there, man? Step on it,
block this for win.
Yeah, break. It's yeah.
It would change the game, but that's because that's what's interesting about Tesla because it is a car, it is a business, but they keep that fun side. There's so many modes. There's party mode. There's cap mode for all of these cars and shit. You could change the honk sound to like whatever you want. They make it fun and they make it interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's just a matter of fact of you pressing a button, which is so easy and like you said, so fun. But I think self-driven vehicles, that's the future, dude. And I think that's all I think a lot of people that are into cars, it's a fantasy, but it's a fantasy that's becoming real and real and real as the years progress. I think it's becoming something that in the near future you're gonna be like, yo, they did it. The future is here. What we wanted as kids, I want to drive myself, or I want something to drive me here and there. I think in the near future it's gonna be here, and we're gonna say, yo, they did it. They did it.
You know what might be the game changer? Like the actual what's gonna convince people to get an electric car? When Apple joins with one of these companies, they put their architecture, they put their software, they put their technology into just a vessel that another company has.
Imagine the Apple technology on a Tesla. Oh my god, dude, that's legit. That's a behemoth, bro. That's a behemoth.
That's what I'm saying. Once they do that, it's gonna change it.
That's a total behemoth, dude.
It's gonna change it because right now, what are they saying that it might be Honda?
Yeah, well, it might be Honda for sure, but they want competition for business, and that's what it is. It's all about business. So they want more competition. From here, from there. It's all about that. But if they found the right merger, they're gonna be, complete game changers, like you said.
I don't think it will be with Tesla though.
No, of course not.
I don't think it will
Tesla's
be with Tesla.
on its own league. Yeah. They're gonna get. I think they might even develop their own thing.
Yeah, it has to be a company that they have the power, they have the battery, they have the drivetrain, but they don't have the software. They don't have the means to get the system together, and that's where Apple would just come in and
just fill that hole.
Fill those holes. Yeah. Oh, you need a processor? Okay, we got you with the processor. You need a system? We got you with the system.
And don't sleep on Microsoft. Microsoft is right around the corner too. I think Microsoft in the next few years is gonna make a big impact on the electric vehicles.
Just because they have such a stranglehold on operating systems.
Yeah.
Windows, everybody knows how to use the Windows. Exactly. If you put a MacBook in front of someone, people might struggle.
Yeah.
But if you put a Windows computer in it,
they'll hack it. They'll hack it instantly. They'll be like, yo, I don't even know how to use a computer, but I could hack it.
Some people stay away from iPhones because it's too complicated for them
well, it's too in a way conservative now, especially with those new things that they're, all the privacy that they're adding on, So I mean, but you can't go wrong with Microsoft.
I like what they're doing with that though, with the privacy. That might be a big thing, like moving forward.
A lot of people want privacy. I mean, now that we have the internet, we're all able to know and so much information from anybody out there. You're able to search up anything real fast in the next 2 to 3 seconds, and you got their whole information. The privacy, we all want it. You want it in your home, you want it in your cell phone, you want it in your vehicle, you want it everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, even like at homes, you have all those privacy security systems. You want that privacy.
But here's something I think a lot of people don't know about, like what they're doing, because they get like the Amazon Alexa cams because they want that privacy, right? But Amazon has a partnership with the government that if a cop or any government agency comes and asks them for video footage, they're gonna provide that to them.
Oh.
I think a lot of people don't realize that, and that's where Apple is stepping in and being like, "Yeah, we're gonna give you that privacy you actually deserve, not the one where we're telling you it's private, but over here they ask us, and we're gonna give it to them." That's why Facebook is so mad at them. A lot of these apps and like a lot of these services that they provide, like
Quote unquote privacy.
or like ads specified for you, like that. You could run an example if you just start talking about cat food, like blue cat food. I need cat food. I need cat food for my big dog.
I'm gonna scroll on my Instagram right now, dude.
It's all gonna be cat food.
If I get cat litter right now, dude, I'm killing myself.
You know, like shit like that.
Yeah.
And you don't really realize it, but they're fucking listening to you.
Yeah.
And it might not be like for a bad reason. Like they're not trying to like maybe they're
It's
not
just
trying
marketing.
but it's marketing. They're trying to pinpoint. Oh, you need this? Like yo, we got this. But they don't let people know what's really going on. They don't.
And
really
that's a
let
privacy
people know.
that a lot of us crave. You know, in just in your overall technology use.
Yeah.
You know, especially with your laptops and your phones and now your cars. It's just
now
it's
your
that
cars.
privacy. It's just a privacy that
your cars.
are we're all being watched, no matter how you want to look at it. You know. But the privacy is what counts here now, and Apple it seems to be stepping up their game, and a lot of people are being, you know, they're approving of this new was supposed to be an old thing, but it started to become a new thing. Like, oh shit, you got privacy? Oh shit, I got Apple, bro. I got privacy right here in my pocket, you know. And it's kind of sad to see it like that, and we're starting to see it with just our phones, you know, with what began. Literally, our phones, you know. So privacy is very, very, very important. You know?
Super important.
Yeah, I remember back in the days where we used to think that privacy wasn't a thing, and we used to cover our TVs because we used to think that little camera, that little pinpoint on the TV used to watch you. You used to put a fucking blanket on top of it, and you'd be like, "Yo, the government is watching me, so I'm gonna put a blanket on my TV," because we used to think that.
There was a movement. Shit. There was a whole movement when people even started putting like stickers on their webcam thing.
Yeah,
like,
webcam, blankets.
You know,
oh,
and
man,
that all started with Snowden.
Was it Snowden?
When Snowden came out and said, "Yo, like everything you guys thought was a conspiracy is actually what's happening." Conspiracy, like it's actually what's happening.
That's crazy.
And he's still, he's still running from the law, pretty much.
In aula.
Just for like telling the truth, like the government's like it's listening.
Yeah.
Everything you
I
guys
think at this point we all know that this shit is happening.
Yeah.
If you want to ignore it, then well, you really can't do much about it.
But that's the crazy part, that people just become okay with it.
Yeah. Well,
like
it's not that you're okay with it, dude. It's just that it's like, what can you really do? You just ordinary civilian that is trying to get, you know, day by day.
But when voting comes around, it's the complete opposite conversation. They're telling you, oh, your vote counts, your vote matters, your voice matters. Yeah. But when it comes to everyday things, it's just people have been taught to like, it does. What you say doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what I mean? Well, when it does, because all these companies, they depend on us buying the product, on us liking the product, and giving them money for whatever product they're putting out. So you do have a voice, you do have that power, but we've been taught that we don't. Yeah. I see this a lot when people like at work, they don't want to say something, they don't want to ask for something because they've been taught that like, yo, this is a suppressor and you're the suppressee. So you listen to what we say, and then when we say it that way, that's the way it is. When it's not really like that.
And if you stand up for yourself, you're the rotten apple.
Yeah, you're cancer. You can't be
cancer.
Here.
Yeah,
you can't be here.
You can't be here.
Just because you voiced your opinion, because you said, "Nah, I don't."
You commented
like
on their quote unquote instructions or their demand for you to fulfill this assignment, whatever, you know.
You took a different path than the one that they asked you to take.
Because you know that path or that direction was the wrong one. You know, it happens everywhere. But enough of the negative stuff, dude. I've been watching. You know, I've been watching anime. Lately,
okay,
dude.
What'd you get into?
Oh my god! I mean, everybody knows Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super etc. But I recently watched this anime called Demon Slayer.
Is that on Netflix?
Tanjiro. This is on Netflix. So if people are watching and you want to get a good kick of a good anime, I think they only have like one season over like 25, 26 episodes, but it's a really, 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 really good anime. You know, it's based on this boy called Tanjiro that, you know, his family is slaughtered by these demons,
Mm.
and he takes on, he pursues this journey to defeat this demon king, and he goes on a journey, and throughout the journey he goes out and he explores different events where he's able to develop his skills as a fighter.
Mm.
He becomes like this ninja type sword fighter. It's amazing, dude. It's just like another level.
Yeah.
But other than that, it teaches you a life lesson. You know, the appreciation of family. Along this journey that he has, he carries his sister that became a demon.
Oh shit.
She became a demon because she got bit with one of these demons, but he in his heart he believes that he could turn her back into a regular human being. So he takes his sister that's a demon to his master and tells him the story about what had happened with his family, and his sister kind of was trying to fight him because she became a demon, but then he kind of fulfilled that role of like, no, I'm your brother, love me, blah blah. And then he takes it to his master, so his master kind of teaches her that she as a demon should protect all human beings.
Okay.
So she becomes this outsider demon, where when they encounter every demon wants to kind of just kill humans. Well, she doesn't want to kill humans. She wants to protect demons.
Yeah.
So throughout the journey, she takes her on his like this backpack type of box.
Oh shit. Okay.
So he takes her around this journey, and she steps in on different fights. She helps him out. It's just an anime where you just like, oh my god, it's so heartwarming because it teaches you the values of family, and just teaches you that you should always fight for whatever matters to you. And if it's, you know, your family, then, you know, go right ahead, you know, and always believe in yourself. It's just one thing that I learned from Tanjiro, that he never gave up. As soon as he was getting beaten by these demons, he found a way to defeat these demons. He kind of had this inner power and just let it out, and he defeated these demons. It's a great anime that you never can learn about.
Is it one season?
A one season.
Oh shit!
I remember.
So it's a Netflix exclusive. Like they created the show.
It's a Netflix. Yeah, it's a Netflix,
shit, okay.
which is amazing. You know, a lot of us are when we hear anime, we're like, oh, it's Japanese. You know, but this is, I think, an American made. But it has the NL logo on the when you pick the anime, it has the N logo, so it's a Netflix made.
Oh shit!
The graphics, it's good. I mean, it's good quality.
Well, the thing about an anime is that most of it has to follow a certain type of graphics all the time. There's only a certain like level that they could reach. You can't make it too realistic.
Yeah, well, you know, when you think of anime, you think of those big eyes.
Cartoons,
the cartoons, yeah.
Their reactions are over the top.
Yeah. So this has the top. It has top notch fighting moves. It has top notch blood and gore, the things that a lot of us like anime watchers want, you know, especially like Dragon Ball.
It's known for the over the top ridiculous fights and shit.
It's great. It's something that I've been watching, and I recommend it to you if you haven't watched it. I recommend it to everybody.
I've seen the little thumbnail and shit, but I haven't watched it.
Watch it.
I'm gonna
fun,
watch it.
Dude.
Have you watched Death Note?
Of course, Death Note with Light Yagami.
Dude, I was so mad when Netflix came out with that movie.
Oh, I browsed through that movie.
Whack, son. I tried watching it. I gave it a chance. I watched it, but after I saw the anime first, so I knew the storyline. I knew what the characters did and how they developed. But the movie, the real life like live action movie, was not. And that's what I mean. Like the anime has a certain there's certain level that it has to reach, because even Dragon Ball Z, the style that it was animated in. The original one was kind of an old style, but then they brought around Dragon Ball Super, and you could tell they raised their animation, they upgraded their animation, but there was still a certain cap because it's a cartoon, it's anime, it's gory, the fights are over the top, so like they have that cap that they have to reach, and Netflix tried to pass that cap, and they made that movie, that live action movie, but son. That shit was. I don't think I've talked to anyone that saw the anime. I think the only people that might like it are the ones that didn't see the anime.
Oh yeah, you know what? I saw the movie. I browsed through it because I was in love with Misa Amani, which is Light Yagami's girlfriend
Yeah.
in the anime. Once I saw her in the original movie, I got disappointed. I was expecting this hot Japanese girl that is just like off the charts, you know?
Yeah.
Light Yagami was a disappointment too. He was in Japanese. Ryuk, which is the Shinigami,
Yeah.
he was, I don't know what kind of painting or what kind of artwork they did on him, but he wasn't really, he was always in the shadows.
Yeah.
In the movie, you could see he was always in the shadows. They really didn't show his figure or anything. Which also disappointment. L was an African American with no disrespect, but yeah,
it's just the character.
It was just the movie and the anime are totally off charts,
and it just seemed rushed because there's so many episodes in the anime where like they're just thinking of things and like it shows you the praying process that they go through, like this and then that and then
the
that.
mission.
But in the movie, it just seemed rushed. Like
yeah, it seemed like they just browsed through it real fast and just found the pinpoints, which didn't even match the movie, but they just pinpointed it out.
It's like of a 2-year-old wrote a summary.
Yeah, literally.
of the anime, and someone was like, "Yo, give this man a contract.
Give him real quick too.
We need this on Netflix."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but yeah, Death Note was an actual. It was one of the most fun animes that I think I've watched.
Yeah, Death Note was really good.
It was very suspenseful, full of just I don't know, rush, mystery, and it was fun. It was fun.
I
fill them in, Manny. I'm gonna go take another piss.
Okay.
Fill them in.
Okay. I think that Death Note was the last one I watched, but I think I tried my hand on Attack on Titan or whatever. It's an anime. It's an anime, but. It's also on Netflix, but they have like 5 or 6 seasons, and like the new season 7 just is airing and stuff. So some of these animes, they require dedication. You gotta watch them from start to finish because you can't just jump in on like season 4 or 5 on any of these long animes, or else you're gonna be super confused. Even though it's still like gory and there's a lot of everything's over the top, there's a storyline to it. And it's interesting because a lot of that storyline, like Mark was saying, is there's some type of value always behind it to, you know, your family or your loved one or whatever the case it is. But anime always has it has a deeper storyline than what is on the surface of it. The surface of any anime might be like action and like over the top, funny or whatever, gory. But behind all of that, there's always that like family. There's always that cornerstone of whatever that anime character is
There's always that message behind it.
Yeah, there's that message.
Is that message that's very important, and I think if you're an adult and you're watching anime, you see it at a different perspective than a 15-year-old would.
You know, as I was hearing you talk about anime, it hit me that back in the day, like in the 80s, it was the Westerns. Everybody wanted to copy the Westerns, like, because that was like the golden standard of movies and shows. It was Westerns. But now they're kind of like leaning more towards like anime and stuff. I think an anime has a bigger hit. Like if they were release a new Dragon Ball or something, it would be ridiculous. Did you go see the Broly movie, the Dragon Ball Broly movie?
No, but I've watched. Yeah,
it was one of the first ones that was ever released in theaters publicly here in the U.S. And dude, that shit broke records. I think I saw it like 2 or 3 times. Like I'm not even joking with you. I saw it with the homies. I took my son to see it because that's something that you could share, you know, even with little kids.
Yeah, I mean, the whole anime world is changing. It's always it starts off with mangas. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
They're mangas, they're books that you're able to read, and there's pictures, and you're able to just browse them, and it's so
equivalent
fun.
of a comic book, right?
It's equivalent to a comic book, correct? It's even a comic book if you can say it, but with a very very long story behind it. You know.
Have you? You into the Marvel universe?
No, I'm not.
So you haven't been seeing WandaVision?
Who?
Just that little dude.
Who the fuck is Wanda? Is that a character?
WandaVision on HBO Max.
Is it like this Supergirl?
It's the continuation of Avengers because the the original Avengers, damn, it's crazy to even say it like that. The original Avengers, it started with Iron Man, right?
Yeah,
And that's what started the whole Marvel universe.
Then you got Captain America.
Captain America, you
Thor,
got Thor,
you got Hulk in it.
you got all these movies inside of the Marvel universe. I think at this point there might be like a dozen movies, and they all like it's a timeline. It's a timeline. You can't really go see Avengers Endgame, without seeing at least a couple of like the other movies. But now they're moving into a different phase, and it's phase 4 of Avengers, and this is the phase where they start bringing in the X-Men because Marvel is owned by Disney, and Disney just bought Fox.
Are these like multiverse?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you got X-Men and Marvel.
And since
this is crazy,
Fox just bought Disney. Fox just bought the X-Men rights, and Disney owns Fox.
Marvel.
And they own Marvel, so now they're trying to consolidate all these universes together.
Oh my God.
So they're starting to play around with this whole multiverse thing, and it's interesting because if you look at the way movies were made back in the day, you had Terminator, you had The Matrix, you had all you had all these movies that centered around the bad guy that was off into the distant future, but it was always some type of robot. It was always some type of system, right? And here we are, years removed from those movies, and that pretty much came through. You do have robots, you do have artificial intelligence, you do have all these things that you should be scared of. Yeah. But it seems almost in a way like they were preparing us for that future, right? But now, if you look at the state of movies now, all of them are focusing on dimension, multi-universe, a lot of different
other worlds.
So it makes you question, like, are they preparing us for the news of
and a possible invasion?
Yeah, something like that, because a lot of the movies that are coming out, they're focusing on like multi-dimension. Like, it's not just us out there, and it might not be aliens on another planet, but it might.
And they kind of portray it as like a superhero, right?
Yeah.
They kind of welcome it like, oh my God, I mean, we have this superhero that is going to another world and saving that world from some type of catastrophe or some shit like that,
And I've always saw it that way because, like, UFOs, right? You get into the topic of UFOs and how they come here, how they travel. But a lot of the times, the UFOs or the aliens, they just pop in and they pop out. You don't see them. This is Earth, right? You don't see them leaving. You don't see them coming. They just pop in
and disappear,
and they pop out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So then my thought has always been these are interdimensional beings. Like, they're able to make a hole in the dimensions and they pop into this one. They take a look and then they pop out.
It's kind of like Goku when he uses that instant transmission where he goes from one. I mean, he's able to focus his energy and pick up another energy from even another world.
All you got to do is visualize it.
Make yourself find the energy, and then you're instantly there.
Boom, you're gone.
Could be that. Yeah.
Boom, you're
they even had it in the anime.
Einstein has the theory of wormholes. That he thought that even way back then that there's somewhere in the universe, there's certain laws that you're able to poke holes in the universe, where you could go from one spot to another spot, like a fucking shortcut, almost, in a way.
Kind of cutting edge. Right?
It could. What if you're not getting from here to there? You're going from one side to another dimension. What if that is the way that all these beings travel? What if they are here, but they just developed a different way because they're in a whole different timeline, and they just pop in to check in on us, like, yo, what's going on over here, so we could fix it over there. Because now, let me ask you. Have you heard of the Mandela Effect?
Yeah, the Mandela Effect.
Let me ask you a question, because I just found this out. Monopoly. All right, think about Monopoly. Visualize Monopoly. The guy. You know the guy, right? With the top hat.
Yeah, the money guy.
Does he have a monocle?
A monocle?
You know what a monocle is?
No. What is
a one eyeglass?
Doesn't he carry it in his pocket?
Does he have one or not?
I believe he does. He carries it on his pocket.
What if I were to tell you he doesn't?
What would? I mean, is there a difference if he has it or not?
We all remember him having one, right?
From what I remember him having one probably in his pocket. That's what I
right?
remember. Yeah.
But he doesn't have one.
He doesn't have one. He's
He's
just an
never had
ordinary,
one.
just.
He's never had one.
And what's the difference between him not having it and having it?
The Mandela Effect.
The part that we remember something that is not there.
That it never really happened.
Wow. Yeah.
I just found that one out, and it's crazy.
And when you ask yourself, God damn it, I remember it like this.
He had a monocle.
He had a okay.
He had a fucking monocle
Like
all the time. And you could see the
right?
chain hanging off of it.
Yeah, dude. You know what? That's why I remember the chain in the pocket.
Yeah.
Oh my God, and he doesn't have one.
He doesn't have one.
Fuck you, Mandela.
and even that, like I remember Mandela dying in prison.
Yeah.
I remember that shit.
Yeah.
But then it turns out he never did.
He never died.
He was alive the whole time.
Oh, fuck.
And so that's what's crazy about what's going on, because we have what's going on in Texas. We have what was going on with politics with Donald Trump. All of us have been distracted for a very, 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 very long time at this point. Even going back to Obama. Obama could have been a distraction the whole time, because that's a big event that, like, it doesn't really happen often. So it causes you to focus on that. But as time keeps going by, there's certain aspects, there's certain things that we keep remembering in a way, but it's not really that way.
I think it is happening, dude. I think
that's the thing, though, because behind the scenes, so much is changing in, like, technology that is not brought to our awareness. Quantum technology, quantum computing, quantum mechanics has been making leaps and jumps since it was created. It's been growing exponentially, the same way that now we carry phones around in our pocket that are fucking as strong as, like, they're more powerful than we could have ever thought of. There's fucking 16 to 32 gigabytes. I think you have like 32 gigabytes of RAM on your phone.
Yeah,
my laptop has like 16.
Like, a big phone.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I got a phone that is actually probably as big as you could say, as big as a laptop.
Yeah.
I mean, I could use my phone.
You could use it as a laptop.
Yeah,
you can use it. Yeah. Dude, we could record this whole podcast off of like my tablet.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you know what I mean? And that's not brought to an awareness. The only way we actually really think about it is like, oh, iPhone 13 is coming out. And that's the way we quantify, like, oh, that's the upgrade. But in reality, the upgrade is like, now they're making quantum computing, and quantum computing doesn't abide by the rules of physics as we know them. They created a whole new set of standards that quantum computing could abide by. They have the CERN. You've heard of CERN?
CERN? Is that like some organization?
In like Switzerland, and it covers a few.
I think I've heard of it.
It's like a big ass loop, and they shoot atoms, and then they make them collide, and then that's how they found the God particle. That's how they found black matter. That's how they found they're finding new even elements by combining and creating these little explosions. And there was a fear that what they're doing there could create another Big Bang, and if it creates another Big Bang, like, that's a restart.
What's the point?
Exactly. What is the point?
What is the point? Oh
but
my God.
All that
I'm
is
scared right now. You're scaring me right now, man.
All that is happening so fast that we don't.
I'm scared.
We don't know about that. You know.
Yeah.
We don't know about that until it's too late. And all these Mandela effects. Some of the theories are like it goes back to that. They're making so many. Like, they're doing so much that it could fuck something up, and we're instantly in another timeline, and we don't know it.
It is, and that's, dude, I believe it. Everything's moving so fast that if you don't believe in everything right now, dude, or even a possibility, then you're just very, very, very extremely close-minded.
Close-minded, yup.
The possibilities of everything happening in your imagination can become a possibility and an action. And when it takes action, you're even fucking already approved of your fucking thought, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, I believe it, dude. You know, I believe everything that's going to happen in the next few years to come is going to be a life-changing, you know? Like, nowadays, people are making more money than they used to, you know. Of course, a lot of people know more about the stock market and know about trading and all that, etc., and even Bitcoin and all that stuff. It's just like everything is moving so fast that if you're left behind, you could be left behind within a week.
Yeah, yeah.
within a week, dude. And I've been there. Where it's been like, oh shit, I've been leaving. What just happened in a week?
Yeah.
All this happened in a week. Oh shit, I'm left behind.
Yeah,
You know,
for real.
it's just like if you're not updated every single day, it's just like you gotta inform yourself every single day, every single day. And if you don't, within a week, like we said, you're already backed up.
You're already left behind. The new version already came out.
Yeah, literally.
You're
It's a sad world,
Yeah.
but I'm very neutral about it, dude. I'm like excited about it. There's a lot of opportunities for us, but then at the same time, it's just like, how much can we handle? How much can I handle in the next years to come? Like, we're not only getting older, but how much can we handle and just, keep feeding our mind and our body into these new things, Like, there has to be a point where you just be like, you know what? This is it, and this is where I'm staying.
The capacity?
Maybe, yeah, the capacity, or, I mean, a lot of people want to see it as a comfort zone, but maybe it's not a comfort zone. Maybe it is a safe zone. Because the more you kind of, extract to your mind, the more you get lost.
Yeah.
Because there's been episodes in my life where the more I feed, the more I get lost. And when I do stop, I'll be like, I reflect and be like, yo, how come I didn't catch it? I passed through it. Now that I'm reflecting, I'm catching up to it.
Yeah.
Has that happened to you?
Yeah.
It's happened to everybody.
Yeah.
So if we keep going on without reflecting, can we get lost?
Yeah.
And then when you get lost, you're literally just become a zombie. Or some type of creature that you don't even know what the fuck you are. But once you reflect, and I think reflection is a big thing that a lot of people kind of have lost. Reflection is just like sitting down and reflect, like just take 2 to 3 days off and don't do shit, but reflect about the past fucking 2 to 3 weeks. And you be like, yo, what the fuck? I just found something out that I could have found out a few days ago, but you didn't see it.
Why didn't I know?
Because you're constantly moving. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah. And it just seems like time is just moving faster and faster.
It is, dude. We are already.
We're pretty much at the end.
Sunday,
of February.
fun day, but not for a lot of us out there in the States. But it is Sunday, the 21st of
this is
Febrero.
the last week of February.
Yeah, it is.
February is only 28.
And we're in March.
28.
And we're in March.
Then it's been a year since COVID.
Yeah, and if you haven't done your taxes, you're fucked.
And
Maybe in a couple of weeks.
Then we got this, yeah.
So do your taxes, guys. There's TurboTax. There's your ordinary accountant.
You could do it. Yeah,
your H&R blog. You could do it yourself. Just do your taxes, dude. Pay the government. That's the law. But I think we should wrap this up, Manny.
Yeah, I think this was a good one.
I think this is a good one. I think we covered.
For all you guys that don't know, we are live right now on Instagram. We're gonna try to do this more often. Just give you. It's a whole nother angle. It's like up here. So just to give you guys a little behind the scenes type of look of what goes on while we're setting up.
Don't mind the angle. Manny put it out, but I think it's a very, very, very cool angle.
It's like a behind the scenes angle.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at it right now. It's a little backed up, so
yeah, it's a little bit.
So yeah. I'm not doing no ninja move, on them. But yeah, it's the angle is kind of with one of our lights. It's hitting down towards us. So if you like the angle, fuck it,
Yeah.
But I think it's a pretty good different things. We're trying different things. We're trying to get in here. We went back to our ordinary setup.
Yeah.
I think it seems like we're both happy with it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of a one-on-one conversation with not just us, but with the camera.
With you guys. Yeah.
But yeah, it's
we're
just
gonna
fun.
keep trying new things.
Yeah, new things is always welcome. New things are always welcome, and I think we encourage everybody out there to stay positive, try new things, go out there out of your comfort zone, and just fuck shit up in a good way.
In a good way, for sure.
And just try new things, try watching new things, try adapting new things into your lifestyle. If something's not working, give it one more week. If it's not working, eliminate it and try something new, replace it with something better, and then just keep going on, stay positive. And I think that's one of the things that I think a lot of us kind of tend to, slack off. We're so motivated in a certain amount of time that we lose to kind of feed that motivation. So,
I think what happens most of the time is people are scared to fail. And life is just a constant trial and error.
You're gonna fail, dude.
It's a constant trial and error. Try one thing and you might not like it. Just try another thing, or change it so you like it.
It is. But other than that, I think we should.
We should wrap it up right here, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time. Hit that like, subscribe, hit us up on all the social medias, Instagram, Twitter. Even leave some comments. We're here for you guys. Let's talk about shit. And we'll leave it on that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Yeah. Stay positive, guys, and we'll be out next episode, and we'll be coming up with new content.
For sure, guys. Stay positive.
Stay positive, guys.
Peace.